How's it going, y'all? This is Wicked Ninja, and I'm going to give you a tutorial on how to use Easy Quest Creator or Editor for Wrobot. The World of Warcraft client I am going to be using is for Wrath of the Lynch King, so I will post this on the Wrath of the Lynch King part. And I am going to show you the best and easiest way to do this and try to get as much detailed as possible. Now, of course, you all know you have to have a Wrobot subscription, and you got to know the basics of Wrobot. So, how I do this, first thing I'm going to show you is this. It's called Judy's Blizzlike Repack, revision 1.4.1. I use a custom server for Lynch King, one that I can start myself and create my own stuff. So that way there's nobody else in the server and you can pretty much do almost anything. I use an add-on called GM Helper, and this allows me to pretty much be a GM in my own server, so that way I don't have the hassle of worrying about people catching me. I can focus just on my work. I can make myself invisible or visible, so that way creatures can't attack me, but I can attack them. I can fly. I can modify my speed to move faster, so that way I can get things done quicker. So, now that I've showed you that, I will post a link in the description where you can download that. This is where you download it. It's pretty self-explanatory on how to get it up. You'll set your, if you play private servers, you should know how to set your run list. You'll set it to 127.0.0.1. If you need help on that, it's not hard to look up tutorials on how to set up your own World of Warcraft server just for you. Alright, so now that I've told you that, now we're going to start with the basics. This is what I've been working on. As you can see, I've got a bunch of quests that I've started. I'll log out and I will make a new one. Let me save this real quick. So, alright. So, create new. I like night elves. That's where I always work on. So. Let's see. Trinity GM Helper, that's what I use. Alright. Well, I've got my hold on just a second. Let me figure out what I'm doing. Desktop, Wrobot. I am going to pause the video just for a second so I can get Wrobot open. Hold on. Okay, so we got Wrobot on. We're going to go to Quester, and then I always set up my class before, so that way I can make sure I have everything. And then we're going to go to Product Settings. Go to Easy Profiles Create. we're doing a new. So what we're going to do, we're going to open up our three tools: quest, quest order, and NPC quest giver. Now we'll use vendors, repairs, and mailboxes later, because when you're doing your profiles and stuff, you want to be able to get your character automatically trained. If your bags get full, you want to be able to sell it, or if you want to mail something, mail. We try to make sure everything is set up so everybody can use it. Alright, so first, when starting out, we're going to see what the quest name is. This one's called the Balance of Nature. You need to kill 4 young night sabers and 4 young thistle boars. Alright, so another tool to download is called Heidi SQL. And what it does is, instead of having to use a site to find out what the quest ID and stuff like that for that typical server, it allows you to connect to your server and gives you all that information here. So I'll go to quest template, and then I'll go to data, and then show all, and then I'm looking for the Balance of Nature. So I will scroll over until I see the title, and I will make it where I can find it easy. So the Balance of Nature. The Balance of Nature. So notice there's 2 of them. So we've got one for mangy and one for young. Pretty much you can look at the quest text to figure out what it is. So kill 4 young night sabers. We'll click on that, scroll all the way over, and there's your quest ID. So now what we're going to do, we're going to go back to Easy Quest Editor, and widen this a little bit. We're going to hit the plus sign, and then we're going to put in the quest ID and the quest ID right there. So 456. We're going to click Complete Quest Info to build. Alright, so in looking at this, you notice it's got the name and everything, and it's got has objective. Now in this quest, it is a kill and loot quest. If you look on here, you have none, kill and loot, gather, use item on, use spell on, interact with NPC, follow path, follow NPC, and then a couple others that I don't really know about. So this is a kill and loot quest. So we want to make sure that we have how many objectives it has. This one's going to have 2. So we're going to accept that. It's got 2. We need young night sabers and thistle boars. Alright. Now you scroll down and you can see all the other stuff. Min level, max level. Those don't really matter. Pick up quest on item. This is only for like if you loot an item that has a quest from somewhere, that's to tell it where it's from. Is it a repeatable? No. Don't worry about these on Lynch King. Newer versions use your objective count. Alright, so now we want to set up what our bot's actually going to do. So we're going to start out here. It's best, instead of using the target position, use add my position and make it look like something you're running around. So we're going to make it follow a certain path to where these creatures would be at. we want to add the targets. So target entry, we're going to select one, and then add target entry ID, and that automatically will add it. So, and then we need the cats. Alright. So now, we've got that set to where the quest line set. Now what we need to do next is select the person who gives you the quest, and then we are going to go to NPC quest giver. Alright, so now what we want to do, hit the plus sign for a new one, and then we're going to click this NPC as my target, and then we're going to look at what the quest ID was, and then he picks up the quest, 4, 5, 6, and he is the one you turn the quest into. Now if it's somebody different, you'll create another one and you'll select them and do the same thing, only you'll put turn in quest ID. Alright, then after that we need to set up the order. This is to tell the bot what you're going to do and when you're going to do it. So right now we only got one quest, so we're going to click on this 3 times, and we want to pick up the quest. Make sure you select what the quest name is. So we're going to pick up the quest Balance of Nature. Now we got to figure out what he's supposed to do. So we're going to pulse. Pulse is to move around. We want him to follow, to pretty much go do the objective. So pulse Balance of Nature, and then for the next one, after it's done, we want to turn in Balance of Nature. Alright, that's a typical kill and loot. That's how you get that set up. So now we're going to test it to make sure it's doing what it's supposed to. Now a good thing about this, doing it on your own private server, is you can use your GM helper and level yourself up. So I don't want to sit here and watch him kill all these while I'm just testing, so I want to make it go faster. So I'm going to level myself up a little bit. Done. Max all skills. That way when he hits, that one's not working. I gotta automatically type that one in. That's okay. So now we want to test it. We're going to open Wrobot. We're going to select pretty sure I saved it. Make sure. Test quest. Yep. Alright, we're going to select the one that we want to do. Abandon that so we can make sure. And then we're going to start it. There he's accepting the quest. And now he's supposed to go after him. Hold on, I know what I did wrong. I created a Knight of Health and I did a Priest. And I don't have a Priest set up, I don't think. There we go, I'll use that one. Alright, so now we're taking them out. I'm going to pause this, let it do, well, I guess I don't need to pause it. Just let them sit there and kill everything real fast. notice he's pretty much attacking everything. The thing with Lynch King setup is he will sit there and kill all the targets until the objective's complete. It's not like the newer version where you can put how many of each and he'll go after that many. Computer's running a little bit slow. Alright, so now he's done all the objectives. And he should go back to the quest area. Apparently after he waits for mana. So, good thing about this, we can select our character and just not have to worry about all that stuff. Let's not have something set up right. Hold on. Oh, yep, see, I forgot to select. So that's a good example right there. If you don't select what quest he's to turn in, he's not going to do it. So we're going to go ahead and override. It's pretty good to have a mistake in a video so that way you can see what it does whenever you don't do something right. So now that we fixed that, now he's going to turn it in. Alright. Now, you noticed he just selected the first object. Notice I'm still learning this too, but reward item, you can tell it which one to accept. I normally just let it select default as 1 because you don't know what class it's going to do. I haven't got that far into the picking what class, so like you can pick if it's druid specific or let's see, I can give you an example. WoW class. And I just haven't learned how to set it up where it'll pick for whatever class that person picks. Alright, so now we're going to check out some other quests. Here's one. Hallowed Sigil. So there's not really an object, an objective. This is just a basic grab the quest, go to another NPC. I had a little bit of trouble with this, but finally figured it out. I don't know if it was just this quest or not. So now we want to add another quest. So we're going to hit the plus, and then this quest is called Hallowed Sigil. So we're going to go to Heidi SQL. And the reason I use a repack, just so you guys know, is sometimes Wowhead won't give you the original quest ID. Gives you just the newer version. So I like to use the repack, so that way everything's there. Everything that is in this WoW version is right here. So, Hallowed Sigil. So, we're going to go up. Hallowed Sigil. Hallowed Sigil. Alright, and we're going to scroll over. Now the thing with this quest, I'm just doing this quest as an example because this is a class specific quest. It will go to you're supposed to go to whichever class you are, the trainer, but that's why I normally skip this quest. But I'm going to show you how to set up a no objective quest, just a turn in. So hallowed sigil is 3119. We're going to open our profile. 3119. Complete quest ID. And then the one thing about this is not a kill on loop. We're going to select interact with NPC. And the one thing about this that you want to have turned off is objective. This is not an objective class. Otherwise, it'll Otherwise, it'll sit there and just stand there, trying to figure out what to do about the objective. There is no objective. So we want it to just go straight to turn in. We're still gonna, I'll show you here in a bit, but we're still gonna select pulse because we still want it to move. Pulse makes your person move from one place to the other. So, hotspots, the way I do these quests, I don't set up add my position. I walk straight to the person. I walk straight to the person that I'm going to turn the quest in, and I add their target. Okay. And then you scroll down and target entry. You want to add target entry too. Alright, so now that we have that set up, remember, make sure on these type of quests, a pick up and turn in, that you have it as no objective. So now we're going to set up. Okay, so Conservative Elephant was the one who gave us the quest. So what we're going to do here, we're going to go to pick up quest, and we're going to hit enter. We want this to be one ID by each line. And then we're going to let it know that you pick this quest by this guy, 3116, and then we're going to go to a different NPC, create a new one by hitting the plus, and click this target is my NPC target. And then we're going to type in just the quest ID for turn-in quest, so 3116. Alright, now that we've done that, now we need to set this up. So we've got 3 new objectives for it to do. Quest order. 1, 2, 3. The first one is we're going to pick up, and we're going to pick up Hallowed Sigil. Make sure you select what it's going to do. Then we're going to do Pulse Hallowed Sigil, and then we're going to turn in Hallowed Sigil. Now the reason I'm creating this video is the other video didn't get quite self-explanatory on how to do a lot of other things like just pick up turn-in quests. So I wanted to get that into the video so that way you guys can see a little basis of what you're doing to help out a little bit more so you don't have to ask as many questions. Alright, so now that we've done that, now we're going to save. And abandon that quest because we want it to do the thing we're telling it to. And we're going to stop and play again. Hold on, I think I must have done something wrong here. Test plus. Okay. We got pickup. I've had problems with this quest before, so normally I just skip it like I said. Alright, what's going on here? Let's try this and see if this works. We're going to take that off and we're going to make another plus just to make sure. This MP sees my target. 3119. Right, 3119. Ah, that's what it was. Typed the number wrong. Once again, good to see mistakes. Mistakes help us learn. So, now that we got that, we're going to save again and test again. Alright, there we go. Now he's picking it up. Alright, so he's picked up the quest, and now he's going to go to turn it in. Maybe. There we go. That's how you do turn in, pick up and turn in quests with no objectives. Alright, the next one I'm going to show you is this is just a kill and loot quest, which just basic, so we're not going to worry about that. I'm going to show you another type, which in the original tutorial video that they have posted shows you, but I mean, it's a different way. I'm going to show you what to do. So with venom sacs, did I spell it wrong? Redwood venom sac. Redwood venom sac. There we go. Well, what I'm doing here is I'm looking up the item ID of this quest so I can skip it. That's another good thing about having your own private server, and then I can just sit here and add them until it's done, so that way I don't have to sit there and bug with it. So continue. It's automatically going to select one. I haven't figured out how to class specific yet. Once I figure that out, I'll show you guys how to do that. So this one is called Webwood Egg, and it is a different type of setup. So what we're going to do, we're going to come here, we're going to click plus, and this one's called a gatherer quest. Alright, and now we need to look up the name, so we're going to Webwood Egg. If you don't feel like doing it this way, you can Google search the name and try to find it that way. I just think this way is easier. So, Webwood Egg. Webwood egg. Quest ID 917. So now we're going to go to the quest editor. 917. Complete quest info. Now this one does have an objective, so make sure you have just one objective selected. And we're going to, it's a gather quest. So what we're going to do this time, we're going to give it hotspots so that way it doesn't look as much like a bot. So accept that quest. And we want him to walk along the normal path. So that way he's not looking like a creep. Oh, so here's another thing about having your own server to do this, is if you don't want to deal with all this stuff, you can make yourself invisible so nothing will attack you. Alright. I'm going to get right next to it. I'm going to add my position. That's going to be the last one. And now this time what we want to do, instead of, you can look up the item ID, but instead of doing that, it's easier to just add entry by name. Make sure the capitalization and the way the word looks on the screen and is spelled and everything is all correct. So Webwood eggs, and then we're going to click add entry by name. So see how it puts the entry right there already? Alright. Now we're going to run back. I know there's ways to do it faster. I'm going slower so that way you can get the gist of it. I feel it's better to learn whenever you see people making mistakes and you see the long route of everything. Once you feel comfortable, then you can take the faster route. So we're going to select him, go back to our editor, NPC quest giver, and we want to make a new one. I already did, and we're going to click this is my target. Now remember the quest. The quest ID. And then we're going to click pick up quest 917 and then turn in, because this guy you will be turning it back into 917. Alright, and now quest order. So depending on what quest you do, you can select your own order and stuff. Just make sure you do it this way on your orders when each quest. You don't have to go the same route. Alright, so we want pickup, Webwood egg, then pulse, Webwood egg, and then turn in, Webwood egg. Alright, so now that's done. This time we're going to double check, make sure nothing's wrong. And once again, if you wanted to select a different, you can choose which one. When you figure out class, you can make it class specific. Make sure everything's right. Okay, now we're going to save it and then test it. So abandon the quest now. And what I mean by selecting your reward, like this is 1, that's 2, and that's 3. And then 4, you get the gist of it. So now we're going to abandon, and now we're going to test. So stop, play. There he's accepting it. Notice how he runs along the path now. Makes it look more realistic. Besides that part, I haven't figured out why he does that. Now, of course, when people use your quester profile, it's going to be a little bit different because you can't make yourself invisible there. And there you go, he picks it up. Now he's going to run back and turn it in. See, he selected the first item there. And see, that's a turn-in, pick up turn-in quest. So that's pretty much the basics there. Now I'm going to show you, after you do all that, the areas that you're going to be in. You're going to bring in vendors, repairs, mailbox editor. And what this does, it allows, whenever your player levels, it'll automatically go to whichever trainer it is. So because, many people are going to be using this, different classes, stuff like that, I try to set it up for everything. So you're going to hit the plus, and what I'm selecting here is a vendor and repair. So I'm going to click this NPC as my target, and first we're going to do vendor. We're going to make a new one. We're going to click this NPC as my target, and then we're going to hit repair. Seems irritating that you have to do it twice, but this is just to signify, hey, you can use this NPC as a vendor, and you can use it also as a repair. I think we should make little click things to what it is, where you can select more than one, but right now this is how we got it set up. Okay, so we did vendor and repair. Okay, so now we're going to make a new one, and we're going to look up the trainers. So this is a priest trainer, and I mean, you can select whatever trainer you want. So right now I'm doing priest trainer. We got druid, rogue. I try to find all these NPCs that are within the same route of my profile of where I'm questing at. So that way, no matter who's using it, what class they are, they'll go to their trainer. This NPC is my target. Oh, sorry, wrong button. And then plus. Okay, so now that I showed you trainers, mailboxes. This is for people, when their bags get full and stuff like that, of items, they want to send it to another character or something like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run where on this server there's a mailbox and show you how to add the mailbox. So when adding a mailbox, you want to stand right next to it, pretty much. And you're going to type in mail, the way it is in the game. So when you point at it, the capitalization and everything, mailbox, box. And you're going to click this in, or you're going to scroll down, click mailbox. Oh, information by name. And notice that it gives you the coordinates right there. Okay, now we got O trainers. We got first aid training. I know there's some things where you can have it train on professions and stuff like that. This is an example. I just try to make sure I get all these into my profile, so that way, however the user sets up their WoW robot to what they want to do, if they want to do professions while they're questing and stuff like that. That way it's already in there, they don't have to add it themselves. So there's first aid trainer and stuff like that. Now I've showed you the basics and stuff, and notice, there's a priest trainer here. I'm going to be questing here too, so instead of having my character walk all the way back to the starting place, I'm going to add this trainer, so if I'm within this area, it'll go to the closest trainer that's available to me. So everywhere you go, what I do, I add every single NPC in the area I'm going to be at, every single one, for what they are, if they're a vendor, if they're a repair, if they're profession, if they're a class trainer, everything. So that way, no matter how the user sets it, where he's at, he's always going to go to the closest one. So that's a pretty much gist of it. That's the basics, and I will show you real quick. He should go and level up his questing stuff, or his profession. I don't know if he will or not. What we'll do, we'll make him level up and see what he does. Yeah, see, he leveled up. Now he's going to go to the closest class profession, and he'll learn everything that's there, how much money you've got. Notice that it shows right there that he just learned everything. And that's pretty much the gist of it. You have the option to import quests from other profiles, stuff like that. You got helper tools, target NPC info. So, like, if I'm correct, they'll tell you the name, entry target, where to find it, the NPC's name, stuff like that. Game object info, you can search. Creature info, you can search. Quest ID. And there's so many tools that you can use to do all this. This is just the way I prefer. Buddy to robot, you can honor buddy profiles and convert it. Profile editor. So I mean, there's so much you can do. Lewis scripting, C+ scripting, stuff like that. Your position. So I mean, it just takes some tinkering with and a little bit of practice. I'm still learning myself. I just figured I'd make this video so you can get the gist of everything, not just a few. But use item on, I haven't figured that out yet. I think you have to actually make a script for that. Or there's use spell on. I haven't got into those yet. If you feel like leaving a comment on how to go about doing that, please do. That would be awesome, because so far everything I've done hasn't worked. I'm always willing to take more advice and stuff so I can get it into the video, and I'll remake the video. But how I mean on, use items and stuff like that, there's one quest where you fill the crystallized vial in the little ponds and stuff, and I can't get them to use that. So whenever I learn, I will re-edit this video and add it in there. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Sorry I was a little slow in talking and stuff, but I just wanted to give you the gist of how to do everything. So I hope this helped out. If it does, let me know. Keep your, let me know your opinions. Opinions are awesome. But that's it. If you guys got any questions, hit me up, and I'll talk to y'all later.